Although modern humans like to feel superior, going back, people have left behind some artifacts that have left the smartest of modern scientists scratching their heads. So in this video we count down 5 ancient discoveries science can't explain. A gigantic monument at the bottom of the Sea of Galilee, as well as several mysterious structures including a gigantic stone wheel and a moon-shaped monument were recently found in northern Israel. The mysterious structures have left archaeologists around the world puzzled. Who built them and what were they used for? They may be some of Israel's most mysterious structures. They are easy to miss from the roadside but can clearly be seen from the skies, or beneath the sea. Theories have gone wild and include ancient calendars, ceremonial structures or sky burial sites in which bodies were placed on top of the stone mounds. Even more eluding is that there is no archaeological evidence of a city near them, and some have therefore put forward that the structures is in fact a huge monument carrying a symbolic significance. The possible age of the structures is even more difficult to interpret, and many put the estimate anywhere between 3,000 and 12,000 years old, making them older than the Pyramid of Giza and Stonehenge in Great Britain. As they have never come across a structure of this size, with its specific features they can only speculate its age, how it was constructed and how it was used. In an area of China not known to ever contain people let alone industry, there are 3 mysterious triangle openings on top of a mountain containing hundreds of ancient rusty iron pipes of unknown origin. The Baigong pipes are an example of what paranormal enthusiasts refer to as out-of-place artifacts, modern objects discovered in ancient surroundings. The Baigong pipes are described as a sophisticated system of metal pipes, buried in geology in such a way that precludes the possibility of having been installed in modern times. They are located on Mount Baigong in the Qinghai province of China. Most accounts describe a pyramid-shaped outcropping on the mountain, and the cave containing the pipes is on this pyramid. 80 meters from the mouth of the cave is a salt lake and more pipes can be found poking up along the shore. Most of the information you can find online about the pipes appears to be originally sourced from a 2002 article. It talks about preparations by a team of scientists about to embark to this remote area to study the pipes. One of the scientists said nature is harsh here. There are no residents let alone modern industry in the area. Only a few migrant herdsmen to the north of the mountain. Oddly, the pipes are clean of debris despite being fairly old. This suggests they were not simply shoved on the ground for the hell of it, but actually used for something. Skeptical hypothesis has already been put forward, seeking a natural explanation for the Baigong pipes that doesn't require the introduction of an assumption like alien visitation. The first thing we turn to are geological processes that might explain them. The Chinese have put forward several such hypotheses, including one involving the seepage of iron-rich magma into existing fissures in the rock. Fractures caused by the uplift of the Qinghai Tibet could have left the ground riddled with such fissures, into which the highly pressurized magma driving the uplift would have been forced. Assuming this magma was the right composition that, when combined with the chemical effects of subsequent geological processes, we might very likely expect to see such rusty iron structures in the local rock. But evidence of this has never surfaced, and the Chinese dismissed this theory. They also noted that the oil field would not be able to exist if there were active volcanoes in the area, especially as recently as 150,000 years ago. The Leonardo da Vinci of ancient China was Zhang Heng, an inventor, astronomer, engineer, scientist, scholar and artist. His most intriguing design created almost 2,000 years ago was the design of the first earthquake sensing device invented. This ancient art science instrument named Hufeng Didongyi could remotely detect earthquakes hundreds of kilometers away. Known as a seismoscope, this sensing instrument was the very beginning for science in the field of seismology. To indicate the direction of a distant earthquake, Zhang's device dropped a bronze ball from one of the 8 tube projections shaped as a dragon's head. The ball fell into the mouth of a corresponding metal object shaped as a toad, each representing direction in which the seismic wave was travelling. His device had 8 mobile arms connected with cranks having catch mechanisms at the periphery. When tripped, a crank and right-angle lever would raise the dragon head and release a ball supported by the lower jaw of the dragon head. The seismoscope device also included a vertical pin passing through a slot in the crank, a catch device, a pivot on a projection, an attachment for the sling and a horizontal bar supporting the pendulum. There are no clear historical documents and physical remains of Zhang Heng's seismoscope device. Several reconstruction designs have been attempted to replicate Heng's original seismoscope, which today is still a famous but mysterious instrument. Many scholars try to reconstruct Zhang Heng's seismoscope in the past 150 years. One of the strangest mysteries in archaeology was discovered in Costa Rica. Since the 1930s, hundreds of stone balls have been documented, ranging in size from a few centimeters to over 2 meters in diameter. These objects are monolithic sculptures made by human hands. The spheres number over 300. Today they decorate official buildings, hospitals and schools. You can find them in museums, and also find them as status symbols adorning the homes and gardens of the rich and powerful. The stones may have come from the bed of the Tabara River, to where they were transported by natural processes from sources of parent material in the mountains. Unfinished spheres were never found. Like the monoliths of the old world, the Costa Rican quarry was more than 50 miles away from the final resting place of these mysteries. The balls were likely made by reducing round boulders to a spherical shape through a combination of controlled fracturing, pecking and grinding. The granodiorite from which they are made has been shown to exfoliate in layers when subjected to rapid changes in temperature. The balls could have been roughed out through the application of heat and cold. When they were close to spherical in shape, they were further reduced by pecking and hammering with stones made of the same hard material. Finally, they were ground and polished to a high luster. This process, which was similar to that used for making polished stone axes and stone statues, was accomplished without the help of metal tools or laser beams. Nobody knows for sure what they were used for. The balls had ceased to be made by the time of the first Spanish explorers, and remained completely forgotten until they were rediscovered in the 1940s. Many of the balls were found to be alignments, consisting of straight curved lines as well as triangles and parallelograms. One group of 4 balls was found to be arranged in a line oriented to magnetic north. This has led to speculation that they may have been arranged by people familiar with the use of magnetic compasses, or astronomical alignments. Unfortunately, all but few of these alignments were destroyed when the balls were moved from their original locations, so measurements made almost 50 years ago could not be checked for accuracy. Many of the balls, some of them in alignments, were found on top of low mounds. This has led to speculation that they may have been kept inside of houses built on top of the mounds, which would have made it very difficult to use them for making observations. But what do you think these giant round boulders were used for? Let me know your theories in the comments. In 1938, a number of small jars were found in the collection of the National Museum of Iraq. These jars, previously overlooked, were found to be quite unique. Each contained copper and iron, and was sealed with asphalt. It was hypothesized based on the various components that they were a type of battery, possibly used to electroplate metals. Since they were noticed long after they had been taken from outside their archaeological context, not much else is known about them. Mythbusters, the television show, recreated them and found they were able to hold a charge, and electroplate quite effectively. Pseudo-archaeologists and ancient astronaut theorists consider it to be one of the best examples of ancient technology that originated not on Earth. The Baghdad battery belongs to a number of ancient artifacts that has caused much debate in the field of archaeology, and while the feelings are mixed among scholars, there are several theories backed up by different individuals ranging in beliefs. We may never know their true nature, but no doubt people continue to speculate on the purpose of the Baghdad battery for a long time to come. Some of the original 12 Baghdad batteries can be seen in the National Museum of Iraq. It was believed that the batteries were used in ancient times for electroplating gold into silver objects. Until today, this claim has not been proven and there is no evidence to support it. Ancient astronaut theories suggest that ancient Egyptians were very familiar with the Baghdad batteries. They might have been used to provide light in the chambers of the pyramids and other places according to their theories. So that was 5 ancient discoveries that science can't explain. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more countdown videos.